If you've been following, of course, a woman wrote that. Welcome. I thought I'd do a little wrap up. And also thank you. This was my first little series under my Music is God umbrella. So much to say about certain people. I couldn't just fit it into 90 seconds. And I have some honorable mentions. And I made us a playlist. So first I wanted to tell you why I even picked this particular genre. Something you should know about me is that I've always written. I have always loved poetry. I was always in like creative writing for UIL. I love sad shit. I love words. Like, I don't know, I guess I'm a very like communication forward person. And I think that's why I just gravitate towards like singer-songwritery music because it feels more like a journal entry. I dabbled in music for a little bit. I even went to Nashville and I stayed there for 10 days to like check it out, and ultimately I just kind of let that dream die. It was just, I was really young and it was in an era of life where I was just like hustling still to like survive in LA. I was super young. I was like 23 or something. I just couldn't like give it the full commitment that I needed to give it. I was still acting pretty like frequently, so, but you know, that's okay. And now we can just geek out about music together, and maybe that's how it was meant to be all along. So when I first started this series in particular, I really thought like we were gonna analyze like every smart lyric ever written by these artists. But then I realized like halfway through that it was actually about how women see the world and how they move in it and how they love in it. And that it's about perspective. Because, for example, there's Carla Morrison, who's like sugar sweet, probably has never had a bitter bone in her body, to like Erykah Badu, who's like this spiritual sister, Buddha, feels like she knows everything. And then to like Olivia Rodrigo, who's like this young little rocker, punker poet. But yet we find ourselves in all of these artists. And it doesn't matter like what age you are or what race you are. I can talk about this shit all day. But today we'll start with some stories that just like didn't make the cut. So here we go. Let's start with Shakira. You guys blew up this video. I've seen all of your comments and I hear you. The general like consensus was that, you know, people just wish she did more of her old stuff. And I'm not saying I don't agree, but I also feel like I have to stand up for her a little bit here. I think too often we want to put artists in a box, and I totally get it. But I think we have to remember that artists are conduits, and they're meant to get what they're going through and spit it out however it feels right in the moment. But people grow and they learn new skills and they work with different people, especially once they start to get some like fame. So the way it comes out might be influenced a little bit differently the second, fifth, or eighth round. And it's so hard to follow up any hit, like for anyone in any like category of life, because I think people will never take it for what it is. They'll always compare it to your last home run a little bit. And it happened with Casey Musgraves too with Star-Crossed. And people just didn't get it. It was during her divorce. But it's like, life is not always golden, you know what I mean? So that's how I feel about Shakira. I think people just need to give her a little bit of a break. But I get it though. I put on her first 2 albums and I was like, it just brought me back to like such a particular era of my childhood. But she's like a mega global Latin, not even Latin, just like a straight up pop star. You know what I mean? So she's just, I don't know if she's ever just gonna go back to like a mic, a bassist, a guitar player, and a drummer. You know what I mean? Okay, Miranda Lambert. I connect to this woman on a cellular level, which if you look at us side by side, that's really funny. I'd be so interested in looking at her astrology chart because when you really listen to her writing, I feel like she's always trying to say, I really want it to be you, babe, but it's always gonna be me, you know? Like she just wants to be a little free bird. And there's so many songs where she writes about this, but I just connected a bit of lore as I was listening to some of her older stuff recently. In For the Record, she has this song called Dear Diamond, and at the time she was married to Blake Shelton. The song is just about this unique perspective about looking at a diamond. She's just literally talking to the diamond, and she kind of reveals in this absolute brutal line that she perhaps has been lying or is like holding a secret, you know what I mean? Anyway, fast forward, they break up, and if you didn't know this, the rumor was that like it didn't work out because of her, whether she cheated. People kind of alluded to the fact that it was like her fault. So they divorced. She's now happily married. I talk like she's my close personal friend, but her and Brandon are happily married now. But in her latest album, Postcards from Texas, she has this song called Run. And in an interview, she said that she wrote it about Blake and it was a solo write. So she couldn't really like share the, I guess, benefit of the doubt with like other writers and like tell people like, yeah, you know, like actually, you know, it was perspective from all of us. Like, no, this was about Blake, and the lyrics just kind of speak for themselves. So I just find that interesting because I'm like, was she kind of admitting when she had the ring that she like cheated on him? Or maybe it was like a premonition, like she knew she was? I don't know. I just found that interesting. But here's why I appreciate her even more. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm very like, I don't want to say feminist because I don't know what you think a feminist is, but I'll tell you what I mean when I say that I'm a feminist. It's like, when I say I want equal rights for women, I mean that like, yeah, pay, all that stuff. Like, yes, obviously. But what I really mean is I want the same turn of the cheek when women do bad things sometimes. Like, men quite literally get away with murder, but women have to uphold this like idea of perfection at all times. And it just, I hate that so much, but I love that Miranda just, she's friends with all parts of herself, and she writes about that, and I love it because you don't always hear that. She's truly my goat. Like, I love everything she does. Moving on. Alanis Morissette, this incredible, confident rocker queen, wrote You Oughta Know about David Collier. I hope that's how you say his name. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, Uncle Joey from Full House. Can you believe that song is about Uncle Joey? I just find that so funny. Also, she was 18 and he was 33 when they dated. It was for fuck sure the 90s, I'll tell you that. Okay, Lori McKenna, I want to talk about her really quick because she has 5 kids. 5 kids. That's a lot of fucking kids. And she didn't pick up a guitar until she was 25. She makes so much money as a songwriter. She has a solo career that's like where she plays these cool venues that are like a little smaller, but like she probably keeps most of the money. She just has like a very ideal situation. She, to me, is like the epitome of having it all, because I think women are often asked to like choose, like, well, you can have a family and a home and a husband, but like you can't have the career you always wanted, especially in the arts. That's like so hard, you know what I mean? It's already so hard. And I think most people want money, but they don't want fame. So I imagine that she's the type of person that maybe in like certain circles or certain cities she would be recognized if she went to the grocery store, but I don't think so. I think it's so important to know about women like her, because if you ever think it's too late, like clearly it's not. Everything is made up. You have to remember, all the rules are made up. You can do literally whatever you want. You could just pick up your dream wherever you dropped it off, and it can all still work out. That's the last thing I wanted to say about her. Lastly, Dolly to me was way ahead of her time. Her style, her confidence, her unique like expression. She's, I think, what we would call now like a main character energy.
I always wanted to have pretty clothes, pretty things, and I read every book, every magazine I could see, and I really patterned my look. It was a country girl's idea of glamour after what they call the town tramp. The lady, seriously though, there was this lady, you know, they have them in a mountain town, a country town, there's always a few loose women, but this woman I thought was beautiful. You know, it's like, and she had this beautiful peroxide hair, had it piled on her head, red nails, high heel shoes, and I just thought she was the prettiest thing I'd ever seen. And Mama said, oh, she ain't nothing but trash. So I thought, that's what I want to be, Mama. I want to be trash.
And even though she only has like a few hits that people recognize, I thought it was important to talk about her because she's made over 3,000 songs, like 7 decades. She's been working forever. 3,000 songs, over 450 of them have been songs that she wrote for other people. Like, this woman prints money. All the while staying very Southern and very kind and very generous, even in her ratting. That's my Dolly expression. And before we wrap, we have to talk about honorable mentions. And trust me, this was really hard. But I should clarify that I eventually just decided I wanted to talk about people whose catalogs I'm super familiar with and whose music I really connect to. And I also think that a part of songwriting is in the music. Like, writing the music to fit the lyric is a part of the writing in itself. Do you know what I'm saying? So with that said, right off the bat, let's get out of the way, Miss Taylor Swift. I got a lot of DMs about her. And I just want to say this. I think I'm not a Taylor Swift hater. I think she is a fucking baller in the industry. She's clearly really resilient. I, being a Texas girl, I guess, and also being her same age, when she started off, she started like a little more country. Maybe not like the Tim McGraw part of her country, but there was like other country songs, and even like Red, when she started going into pop, I really enjoyed that. And maybe honestly her fan base is kind of at fault for this, but when she started going super into just like the Easter eggs of it all, I just got like kind of lost. There's also a difference between like an artist who says things really simply, like big ideas and making them really simply, or even just really ordinary. That is definitely a skill set, but sometimes homegirl just is a little too oversimplistic. Like, what song is it that she was like, green was the color of the grass or something? I was like, girl, like I can't do it. Maybe I'm just not white enough for her, is what it is. I also feel like I'm guilty of not liking super happy music. And I'm not saying that she hasn't struggled in her life. She worked really hard to get where she is, but I don't know that she ever had to like struggle to like pay her bills. And I think it shows. I think it shows in her music selection. It would be disingenuous if I tried to cover her. Moving on with honorable mentions. And number 1, SZA. I love SZA. I just don't listen to a lot of like R&B-ish music, but I think she's so fucking cool. I need to lean more into her. Like I want to listen to her more. Other than like a few songs from the Snooze album, I just don't know much about her, but definitely number 1. Number 2, Pistol Annies. The Pistol Annies are a group made up of Miranda Lambert, Ashley Monroe, and Angelina Presley. I don't know if she's related to Elvis Presley. I don't think so, but also like kind of looks like she can. Anyway, their music is country as fuck. So if you don't like country music like that, like banjos, harmonica, slide guitar, like don't go listen to them. Some of my favorite songs, country songs ever, they wrote. The Best Years of My Life, that song changed my life. When I heard that song, I was like, okay, I'll never write anything that good, so I'm not even gonna try. And then sidebar for the Pistol Annies, Ashley Monroe is a very respected singer-songwriter in Nashville, also country. She has a pretty decent solo career, and you should look into some of her songs. She has a song called The Blade, so fucking good. From Time to Time, it's just so different sounding than any other country artist out there. I love her. And she has not had her big break yet, and she should. She's very, very good. Very underrated. Natalia Lafourcade, I hope I'm saying her name right. Mexican songwriter, my God, she wrote Hasta la Raíz. That song, I probably, it's one of those like top 3 songs. There's like 3 songs that I've heard for the first time in my life and just started sobbing, and that is one of those songs. She also wrote this super famous song. And I'm pretty sure she just came out with like a more norteño album, so I'm interested in listening to that soon. The Love Junkies. So the Love Junkies are again another group with Lori McKenna, Natalie Hemby, great solo artist as well, and Liz Rose. The 3 of them wrote Girl Crush. They also wrote for Taylor Swift, Sober by Little Big Town, Cry Pretty, Carrie Underwood. They're just like a little songwriter group that, again, Nashville really respects because they have tons of hits. And lastly, I did want to give a little shout out to Miss Chappel Roan. I know she's getting a lot of heat on the internet right now. I'm not speaking to her character. I also don't know her enough. But Pink Pony Club and Good Luck Babe. When that song came out, I think I heard it like 100 times back to back. Like, I think it's such a genius song. She wrote it about a girl that she was like seeing, but the girl wasn't like really like out yet. And then the girl went to like go have a boyfriend or like a husband or whatever. And I don't know, my favorite line is, when you're laying next to him in the middle of the night with your head in your hands, you're nothing more than his wife. I was like, oh my God, that's so good. Like, what a bar, what a diss. Yeah, anyway. Tell me who I missed, you guys. I want to know everything that you're thinking. I've loved hearing all of your comments. Don't forget, the playlist is below and it is long, so I'm also going to make different playlists for like different moods with these artists. So look out for that. And thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, click on all the buttons, and I'll see you later.